outside.
Well, the first women's series event of the weekend, and we see Fallon Sherrock take on Mikuru Suzuki for the title. This is Mikuru's first appearance in a women's series final, whereas it is becoming, it already is a regularity for Fallon Sherrock. She's played some great stuff today. An average of almost 104 as she saw off Lorraine Hyde. She had a 95 as well. She's averaging a good 5 or 6 points more than Mikuru over the course of the day. However, in this race to 5, we know that Mikuru can certainly match her. Chris Murphy back alongside me for the final. It is the Miracle versus the Queen of the Palace.
Yeah, Mikuru Suzuki looking to become the 4th woman to win at the PDC Women's Series, but she is up against one of the most proficient players in 85, and Fallon Sherrock is edging ever closer to return to that famous stage, the Alexandra Palace, where she made history and earned herself that mantle of the Queen. And you mentioned how adept she is at reaching the finals at the Women's Series. This is her 6th consecutive Women's Series final. That is some going from Fallon Sherrock.
And 7 out of 8, I think, isn't it? If you're going back to the back end of last year.
7 out of 8. And 8 in total out of the 10 events that we've had so far.
Well, yeah, not bad, is it? And that's not bad either from Fallon Sherrock, who hits the 180. It's her 8th today.
Sorry, I should say 11 event. This is the 11th in history.
100.
And that 180 leaves her on a very makeable outshot. And she makes it look easy, as she so often does. Sherrock takes the first leg.
Oh, there you go, 5 perfect darts in a row there. 180, 67 out in 2.
41.
May have met a few times before, these two. In the major events, Mikuru has had the edge. She's beaten Fallon at the World Masters. She's beaten her at the World Trophy. However, she did lose in Denmark in a final.
180.
And she did lose in the Women's Series back in Milton Keynes in September.
Well, Suzuki lands a 180.
140.
Sherrock responding with a ton 40. Not letting her get too far ahead on throwing this leg. You mentioned Suzuki has had the edge on big meetings between the pair, but Fallon has only lost to Lisa Ashton at this set of Women's Series events. Finally beat her in the final of the last one in Milton Keynes last time out. 5-0 as well. Astonishing result for Fallon in that crucial match, the one that earned her a spot at the Grand Slam.
Yeah, and of course we do know that whatever happens in this match, the leading runner for the other Grand Slam spot becomes Mikuru Suzuki. The question is she going to be there with the full grand from this, or does she have to make do with the runners-up money?
A chance to give herself a better chance of landing that £1,000 first prize, but she can't land double top. And Fallon Sherrock on her double of choice, and now double 9. Nobody chooses this, but Fallon Sherrock finds it without a problem and doubles her lead with another brilliant leg of darts.
Well, if you're going to be good on double 18, you best be good on double 9, because you are going to leave it sometimes. Same rules as Mensur Suljovic and his double 14 hitting. But it is back-to-back 14 darters for Fallon Sherrock. And for those of you who may not know, a 14 darter, that equates to 107 average.
60.
It was 103.9 her average against Lorraine Hyde earlier on. That is the 2nd highest average we've ever seen
180.
The Women's Series. Well, Sherrock, if she carries on in this vein, she will leapfrog Lisa Ashton at the top of that particular roll of honour. 104.32 target to beat.
Well, this is what we want to see. We want to see the best women in the world going toe-to-toe and
47.
pushing each other on to reach new heights. I think that the Ashton and Sherrock rivalry through that first weekend has certainly been one of the driving factors in that, but now
55,
we can throw
100.
A reminder that this is the first of 3 Women's Series events here on Saturday. And the draw for the second of them has been
140.
done. I can tell you that Lisa Ashton and Fallon Sherrock once again are in opposite sides of the draw. Mikuru Suzuki in the same half of the draw as Lisa, so could
83.
meet Sherrock in the final again. Dita Hedman also in that bottom half. Fallon Sherrock taking on Holly Meadwell in her opener.
Whereabouts is Trina in the draw?
58.
Trina Gulliver is in the same half as Fallon Sherrock, but has got a very difficult opening match against Corinne Hammond.
That is a brutal first round game.
59.
Good thinking here from Sherrock, and she's going to leave a finish.
133.
Leaves the biggest finish of them all.
Well, Mikuru just needs to be clever with the maths herself here, and I'm not sure she's going to be. Oh, I know. Well, don't throw a ton, surely. No,
99.
okay, right, she does eventually get it right, but she's a little bit fortunate.
We saw Sherrock take out a 164 in the last set of Women's Series events, but we can't
55.
see us net the big fish here. We've seen Sherrock take out a 160 in this Women's Series event. We saw Suzuki miss double top for it earlier today. She wants double top for it here. That would have been some way to
140.
introduce herself into this final, but the final could be as good as over after this visit.
Treble 19 and double 19. She's already produced this combo once, but
77.
she cannot produce it again. Mikuru Suzuki gets a let off. It could have been zip 4. As it is, she once again steps across to hit double 10. Did this a couple of times against Lorraine Winstanley, but cannot do it here. And this, well, it could be a big step towards curtains for Mikuru.
Well, now it will be 3 for double 8.
Game
She's
shot.
in again. This is a deadly display from Fallon Sherrock. Handing out a brutal beating of her opponent.
96.
Once again, 5-0 against Lisa Ashton. Last time out, she averaged 96.35 then. Looks like she's going to do even better here and extend her winning run at the Women's Series to 12 matches on the spin.
100.
Well, Corinne Hammond did manage to take a couple of legs off her in the semi-finals, but it's all been to 0 and to 1, the other victories today, and this one could be to 0 as well. A dominant display to kick off